And then last one, something that everyone can keep practicing is getting better at the hip hinge and bracing. So what I like to do again is with the trusty band, rig it up to something a little taller than yourself, or at least as tall as yourself. Arms straight out. We go down, in, and then elbows tight to the body, and that teaches the lat bracing. So the muscle is just on the big muscle is in the back around the shoulder blades. So again, straight down, in, elbows pinch. Now my lats are braced. I can give you a little grunt to turn on the abs, and just practicing that is worthwhile. 1, 2, 3, grunt, and maintain that. Now combine that with the hip hinge. So for the hip hinge, just real quick, some of the key points. If my shins, if the angle of my shins is changing, so like so, shooting the knees forward, it's not a hip hinge anymore. The shins should stay like totally vertical, and I'm moving kind of around that joint. So as I push my butt back to hip hinge, the shins are not changing. So if you're practicing something like a kettlebell swing, should be a pure hip hinge. So if you're shooting your knees forward on a kettlebell swing, that's going to lead to more flexion at the back, more problems, right? So it should be a pure hip hinge, okay? Now when you combine the lat bracing with the hip hinge is a really good exercise for cueing, practicing, and like I said, everybody at every stage from injured to high performance could benefit from still practicing this. So we go down, in, elbows tight, combine that with the hip hinge now. Should be, and it should feel like almost like a little stretch on the low back. It should just feel good on the low back if you're doing the right range of motion. Notice the rate that my chest is falling should match the rate that my hips are hinging at. But that's just a great way to practice the hip hinge with the bracing, kind of putting it all together. And then when you get back to lifting weights or whatever you're into, you bring that skill with you, and good things should happen.